It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day, I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It starts with some beer, so you shouldn't have fear. Two garbage guys with facts, but they both still have tact. It's that time at last for the best damn podcast. It's Can Crusher Day!
And welcome back to another Can Crusher Spotlight. These are some of my favorite episodes as we get to talk one-on-one with wrestlers all over the place. And today, we talk with the Trinidad Titan, Justin Smooth. He's been making waves in OVW, and he has challenged the heavyweight champion, Tony Gunn, for a match on April 6th at their Saturday night special. Guys, let me stop for a moment there. And have you heard the big news? If you didn't hear the episode on Wednesday, why the hell not, first of all? But big news for Ohio Valley Wrestling. One, they have partnered with Impact Wrestling. Yes, guys, that is kind of like OVW is a developmental now for Impact. So can you see the likes of Brian Cage or Sami Callihan, going up and down, working with OVW stars? Yes, that is a possibility. Could you see Madison Rayne, who is just re-signed, working with Jay Lee or Callie or Valerie? Yes. So, guys, this is big news. Al Snow and Chad Miller working their magic. Number two, which I love the signing of Impact and OVW, but number two to me is even bigger. OVW has now released a network. Guys, it is $4.99 a month. You're going to get all their content from the past. You're going to get Christmas Chaos, which was awesome. You're going to get Clash in the Bluegrass, which was amazing. So, guys, I've watched them. The app is, not the app, the website is working amazingly. I already have it on my phone. When I get some downtime, I watch some stuff. I'm already where I am now, but go back and watch some of the old things. It is fun. It is great. You see young stars that you now know in the WWE, WWF, however you want to say it, today back in OVW. But let's get to the interview with Justin Smooth right after this from Collar and Elbow.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
And welcome back to Can Crushers. Right now, we have a former tag team champion, a former TV champion, but he's making waves in the heavyweight division in Ohio Valley Wrestling. Justin, Trinidad Titan Smooth. Welcome to the show, Justin.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. Trinidad Titan, tell us a little about where you're from. I know it's in your name, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, I was born and raised actually in Brooklyn. My family's from Trinidad and Tobago. That's where I get the Trinidad Titan moniker from. So it's just me representing my heritage, my nationality. I'm making waves in OVW, and I plan to be one of the brightest stars to come out of OVW for the last 10 years. Actually, I'm gonna make that happen.
Yeah, for sure. With some street justice, why is your finish called Street Justice?
Oh man, street justice. That's just sometimes growing up, whenever the law can handle the things that you need them to handle, uh, you actually take matters into your own hands, and I used to call that actually street justice, and it just transferred over into wrestling when I started wrestling, and I find it very appropriate because I take matters into my own hand when I'm in the ring, and my boot happens to be the ending point to a lot of the stories I've been in, and that's just the street justice point blank period. It's been very successful actually.
You've laid a lot of people out in OVW. You really have. You ran the gauntlet a couple times for that TV title, so street justice has really been your thing.
Street justice is a real deal, man. Real deal. And I've changed people's lives.
So let's rewind a little bit. Who got you involved in wrestling? Like for me, it was my grandfather watching wrestling, going over to his house. A couple other people we were talking about, their dad or whatever. But who introduced you to wrestling?
It was actually my grandmother. Rest in peace. It was my grandmother. She, when I was younger, she used to order pay-per-views, WCW, WWF, and she really got me into it. That was back in like '97-ish. Around the Hogan and Sting and the NWO and DX in those days. So she actually got me hooked onto it, and the fire just kept burning ever since. And, I can't shake it for some reason.
Did your parents want you to be involved in wrestling at all, or is it kind of like a Beastie Boys, you're fighting for your right?
No, they didn't care they didn't care whether or not I got into wrestling. They didn't hold me back from getting into it anyway in the first place. They actually supported me, which was good. My whole family supports me with the wrestling career that I chose. And, it's a passion to mine to this day. And I just plan to live it out to the fullest extent.
You have one hell of a bright future ahead of you. Seeing that on OVW TV and the most recent pay-per-view, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But let's say as your younger years, who were some of your favorites, and who do you kind of, not copy, but, take yourself as?
I've always, and to this day, I always admired The Rock. Always to this day, I always watch videos of him back from Flex Cabana, all the way up to Rocky Maivia and The Rock. That's one guy I've always looked up to in professional wrestling. I always liked his style, the way he transitioned from his many different characters. So I always, study him and study how he talked, how he moved in the ring and how he developed himself when he first came in, all the way to when he last stepped in the ring at WrestleMania and stuff. So that was one of my biggest idols, growing up, was The Rock. And, obviously, like, Stone Cold and, groups like DX and stuff, the whole cool aspect of the pro wrestling, as a whole, grasped my attention and, curiosity and stuff like that.
Yeah, The Rock's charisma is definitely something that you can always build off of and say, hey, and then take his wrestling as well. If you're not over on the mic, your wrestling could be great, correct? But you have to get over both ways.
That's right. And we've seen that happen to many guys, They look good, they can wrestle, but they can't draw the fans in on the mic. It's tough. They get looked over easily.
So how did you get involved in OVW? Did you just search the internet and say, hey, I like OVW?
When I was in high school, I used to watch OVW. That's when they were partnered with the WWE. And I always thought that when I would start my career, I would go to OVW and, hone my skills and try to, start my career out from OVW. And, when the time was appropriate and I was able to, I moved out here from New York in Louisville, Kentucky, and I started training at the OVW camp. And eventually I started getting on, the little house shows and then started to make my way onto the TV product. And ever since I've been, just trying to, establish my name on the TV product over the course of 2.5 years. Almost three now. And I've come quite a while, I've made giant leaps of progress, and I believe I'm headed in the right direction.
Yeah,
Sure.
You sure are. We will touch on that because Tony Gunn, heavyweight champion, you've called him out kind of earlier, but we'll wait on that. Sticking with OVW in your training, you've had a few different trainers, from Rip Rogers, Al Snow. Let's talk about some of your trainers and what you've gotten from them.
I also trained with the Wild Samoan, the Great Samoa. I trained with him for about a good year before I moved out here. Then I trained with Matt Capitelli, rest his soul. He's a very great guy, very good knowledge of wrestling. Rip Rogers, same thing, very good knowledge of wrestling and psychology. Al Snow, those two guys right there is like the encyclopedia of professional wrestling. I mean, if you're not a good worker after learning from both of them, then I don't think you belong in this sport at all. But it's wonderful to actually get critiqued and receive advice from both those gentlemen. They have two different perspectives on professional wrestling, which is good. And you can only learn from them. You can only learn. Absolutely. I don't think I'm pretty sure there's, good places to learn pro wrestling, but, hands down, Rip Rogers and Al Snow, you can't go wrong. Absolutely not.
Yeah, with the alum that comes out of OVW, you walking through Davis Arena or the hallways of the training facility, there's pictures hanging up, and you just see pictures like John Cena and so on and so forth of the wrestlers, and it's got to get you go and say, that's going to be me. That's going to be me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the back, there's at least a good 30 photos of guys who came out of that place. And it's very, very, it's like, sometimes it's surreal. It's surreal to actually walk in that hallway and see the pictures of all these gentlemen. And I think OVW right now, to this day, we have a crop of at least a good 10 talent that I think is going to be on that wall, that the new generation of OVW that goes on to a bigger platform. Yes, we have like a good roster right now, and I think this new crop of OVW talent, we're going to be on that wall actually, and we are going to go onto a bigger platform and represent OVW.
And let's speak about that bigger platform. It was just announced today, all over Facebook and every social media site that's out there, that Impact and OVW are now partnering together, as you guys in OVW are like a developmental brand. We can say that because it's on the post for Impact. So a lot of you are probably going to be getting a look on that Impact roster soon. And how does that make you feel?
Makes you feel good.
Right?
Makes you feel good. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if or how. It's just a matter of time. The Trinidad Titan will be on Impact TV. That's the bottom line. There's no two ways about that.
And you just had a match at Clash in the Bluegrass against Brian Cage, which you guys can now go out and watch on OVW Wrestling Network for only $4.99 a month. Let's talk about that match within itself. I just got done watching it about a week ago, and it's phenomenal. Every spot was hit. Everything was great. Yes, you did take the loss, but what did you learn from that?
I've learned not to drink a heavy protein shake before wrestling Brian Cage. It slowed me down big time. And I think that's why I got the loss. But I'm not going to make no excuses. He's a great competitor. He's a great competitor. I don't think I faced anybody like him before. But, you know, I'm up for the challenge, you know. And it's a good learning experience. You know, there was a great crowd, great atmosphere. And he's an elite athlete. And I can respect that. And I'm pretty sure me and him will lock it up again. And I think the second time would be the charm for me. You know, I'll bring my A game, and he will get a little taste of street justice, unfortunately.
Unfortunately for him, not unfortunately for you.
Absolutely not for him.
So with that, we're going to dub it a pay-per-view. With that pay-per-view, what else did you take? Who else ear did you get to pick from that Impact roster while you were there? I mean, Scott D'Amore was there, which is pretty much like an icon in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, Scott D'Amore. There was a lot of guys back there. Josh Matthews, Sammy Callahan. I had a chance to speak with him. You know, Moose was backstage. A lot of these guys. It was just tons of people backstage. You know, I've got to speak with a few of them very briefly. There was a lot going on, but you know, the opportunities that are coming, and you know, the chances to pick the brain of some of these guys will arise again. And just to learn and to be a partnership with Impact Wrestling and to grow both companies even further is going to be a great experience. And I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot. And, you know, I'm up for the challenge. You know, I came a long way, you know, This is going to be a great. And it starts tomorrow night, Wednesday night, OVW television.
So what's the locker room like with that partnership? I don't know if you've actually been there today with it being announced, but I'm sure you guys knew ahead of time a little bit of a teaser that was going to come out. How have you talked to any of your boys? How's the locker room buzzing about this whole Impact OVW partnership?
There's a lot of rumbling with our guys in the back. You know, a lot of guys are excited and very up for the challenge. Myself included. You know, a lot of guys are anxious just for the opportunity to be able to showcase their skills and show, you know, a broader audience what they can offer. And, you know, myself, I know I will continue every single week. And when the opportunity comes to wrestle on Impact, I will continue to show exactly what I'm about and why I am the next rising star to come out of OVW Wrestling and show exactly why the Trinidad Titan is going to make waves in this sport.
So we're going to kind of rewind a little bit, get off of the whole Impact thing for a minute. Who is it that actually pulled yourself into wrestling then, that gave you the little bump? I know I said, you know, your grandmother and everything, but who gave you that extra little nudge other than Al Snow, Rip Rogers, to go to OVW? I know you said you watched it, but somebody else had to say, go, go, go.
Wow. Man. It's okay. I think I was back in New York and I was reading one of JTG's book. Yeah, he wrote 2 books and I think it was his first book that I was reading, and at the end of it, he answered a question from a fan inside his book, and it actually said, I guess the fan asked him, okay, basically, what school would you recommend for anybody to go to learn the professional wrestling to try to make a career? And he just hands down put over OVW. And I made my decision from there. I was deciding to go either OVW or this other place, and after he put over OVW and the trainers and Danny Davis and that just the opportunities and exposure that OVW can't afford a talent, that right there just made my decision. So I do owe that to that JTG book. I think the name of it was Damn Why Did I Write This Book or something. But I owe it all to that right there.
The book. All right. That's see, you don't get to know anything like that.
Yeah.
All right. Who would the Titan want in a dream match? This is down the line. Dream match. Who do you want to wrestle from, past and present, and then where and what kind of stipulation? So it's 2 people and go from there.
The past, I would like to go one-on-one with the Brahma Bull, The Rock, most definitely. And the present, maybe Velveteen Dream. I met him once back when I was training with the Wild Samoans, Velveteen Dream. And I've been watching his progress and what he's been doing in Florida. I think it's amazing. He's a very dynamic person, and I feel like I'm a dynamic person also. And I think us two going on one-on-one would be a nice sight to see. I think so, definitely.
That would be a great match. Do you have any special arena that you would like make everything like Madison Square Garden or
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, all right. See, that's just the answer I just give to everybody. It's easy.
Madison Square Garden, only because it's in New York and it's the Mecca.
It is the Mecca.
Sports.
And
sports.
And your family's right there too.
My family's right there also.
Okay, so recently, Tony Gunn. He's held the championship now for about 45 days, and he's beaten Abyss. He's beaten Sami Callihan. He's got this challenge open to anybody in the world, and I saw a different Titan come out. You just came out with a chip on your shoulder, and you're ready to beat some ass. Let's call out Tony Gunn and tell him what you can do.
Tony Gunn. I try to be nice with my words, yeah, he's the champion now, so I guess he deserves some type of respect, but, I don't really take him too serious, I'm not losing no sleep over him. I know we're going to fight, April 6th coming up at the SNS, and, I'm more than prepared for him. He fought Abyss and he beat Abyss, but, I'm not Abyss. I'm a better athlete than Abyss is. And I don't think Tony Gunn has ever faced me at my top conditioning right now. And I'm not too concerned about him. He could talk, he talks a lot, but, I have some boot love for him, and that's all I have to say about that right now.
Okay, it sounds like it's going to be the kill shot against Street Justice, April 6th at Saturday Night Special. A couple more questions. You've been in the business, we said, about 3 years. What advice do you have for the youngsters just getting in that you didn't get when you just got into the business?
I would say just, be open-minded, have some thick skin, and always just try to learn, learn from different people. It's always great to, keep an open mind and try to receive advice and, put it into action. My learning here at OVW has been great. I feel like it's been hands down. Within 3 years, I've learned a lot. And I think it's priceless. A lot of guys been wrestling for, 5 or 10 years. And I feel like, I probably have equal amount of knowledge as, some of them do have. And I'm still learning. OVW teaches you a lot, from, wrestling on TV, with time cues and trying to put a specific business or story over and trying to just accomplish a certain thing. And, it teaches you a lot in the ring, outside the ring, backstage, just being a whole professional altogether. So you get a lot of hands-on training with different aspects in the sport. So, anybody coming up, I would just advise them to, find a place where you could learn more than just in ring. You could learn, just different aspects in the sport and, just trying to be a professional, how to conduct yourself and just how to improve, yourself as a businessman, because we are businessmen at the end of the day. And just always try to learn. Always trying to learn. The day that you feel like you know it all and you don't need to take advice to it, that would probably be the day when you should probably walk away, because, you will be humbled. You will be humbled.
Yeah, that was actually one of the questions I had next is, how is it working, a TV taping every week? Some indie stars, some, with training schools don't get that chance. How do you think this, pushes you guys to the next level in OVW?
Well, working TV and working regular house shows is absolutely two different monsters. And, working TV every week, first of all, it's a great opportunity. And, it's a very great opportunity just for anybody who has aspirations to get to the next level. We're one of the bigger companies because obviously they do TV on a weekly basis also. And, just the pressure, the environment, learning how to, work under pressure and how to deliver within a certain time frame, and how to deliver something. How should I put it? How to deliver a certain message or put across a certain business. Being able to do that while you're on TV and it's being taped live in front of an audience and it's going to be produced on TV, I think that's something that shouldn't be taken for granted. And I've been fortunate enough to be on a weekly television product for quite a while. And every week, I continue to learn. Every week, I continue to sharpen those skills. And, OVW definitely prepares their talent for that time. So whenever, we do get a call to go elsewhere for a TV product and it's, real big money on the line, you're able to perform and you're able to excel under pressure, because the pressure only gets harder as you move up. It doesn't get easier whatsoever.
Nice. Yeah, that's 100%. That's 100%. A couple other guys I've interviewed said the same thing. All right, so tell everybody where they can find you on social media and kind of what else you're going to be doing here in the near future.
All right. Well, on social media, my Facebook and my Instagram and my Twitter is all Justin Smooth. I don't think there's any other Justin Smooths that would come up. If there is, they have a problem with me big time. But yeah, all of them is Justin Smooth. We just had 2 shows this past weekend in Kentucky, which were 2 great house shows. We have TV taping coming up Wednesday, and then April 6th we're gonna be having taping our Saturday night special, and we're gonna have a steel cage main event, and also we're gonna have an event with me and Tony Gunn, Mr. Gunn, for the OVW Heavyweight Championship, and that should be something very exciting to see. I'm gonna bring my A game, and with this whole thing with Impact Wrestling, I like the chances. And I'm excited to kick some of those wrestlers in their face also.
Nice. All right, any last words for, you took Tony Gunn's words, so any last words for Al Snow, Chad Miller, anybody backstage, anything that you want to just say, hey, thanks?
I just want to say thanks to Al Snow and Chad and the whole Gladiator Sports Network. Al's been back in OVW for about 6 months now, and he's brought it up to some good heights, and every week they're continuing to build, and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and the opportunities are just getting more broad and more broad. And I just want to give my thanks out to them. Thanks out to the OVW fans who continue to watch every single week. I want to give thanks to my Trinidad Titan fans, Justin Smooth fans. For me, I feel like this is only the beginning, and there's just plenty more to come.
Justin, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. I know you're getting ready to head back to the gym now, just being ready for training. Thank you for stopping by Can Crushers, and hopefully next time we talk to you, you got that strap around your shoulder.
Most definitely. Definitely. I thank you for having me on. Hopefully we could do this again.
Real soon. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
So that was Justin Smooth. Cool, calm, collective, ready for Tony Gunn at the next Saturday night special. But when he's in the ring, he will kick your face off. He's got that street justice, and he is just a different guy in the ring. Something snaps, and it's that boot love that he said. So, yeah, make sure you guys are paying attention to OVW. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, but it's the hottest damn thing going right now. And with them tag teaming with Impact and getting their own network, there's no reason not to. I want to send out some thanks to some people that have always helped the Can Crushers get hooked up with this. Al Snow, thank you very much. Chad Miller, you're amazing. You know, keep everything open. We'll keep the text going. Brad Benizzuti, you're the man. You are the man. And even Travis Mentier, thank you. Guys, I love doing these spotlights. I love doing these one-on-ones. So if you want to be on Can Crusher Spotlight, send me an email at cancrusher69@gmail.com. Go over to Facebook, Can Crusher 69, you'll find us there. Anyway, just get a hold of me. We'll be able to do a one-on-one. Let's help each other out, and we'll do everything. But a huge, huge thank you to the Trinidad Titan, Justin Smooth. Guys, be prepared. He's coming. And if that boot love hits you, it will be street justice. Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Have a great weekend.